Good day, nurses. Now let's discuss varicose vein. So when we say varicose vein, nagkakaroon daw ng dilation. Okay, dilated veins that occur most often in the lower extremities. Okay, and this is caused by incompetent venous valve. Okay, kung papuntahan natin ang anatomical structure ng ating vein, okay, meron siyang valve. Okay, may valve siya. Okay, this is the valve. Ito yung normal valves natin and this is the abnormal valves. Okay, kung mapapansin natin nyo, yung valve natin na normal is magkadikit. Okay, pag once na dumaan ang dugo dyan, mag-open yan. Yung valve natin, ang pinaka-main action niya is to prevent regurgitation or backflow. So, ang tendency kapag incompetent yung valve natin katulad nito, pag once na dumaan dyan, okay, ang dugo, ang tendency, babalik yan pababa. Kaso ang problema natin, hindi na makakabalik dito sa pinanggalingan niya yung dugo. Mag-i-stay na yung dugo dito. At pag nag-stay yung dugo dyan, masyadong madami yung laman ng dugo. Okay, sorry, masyadong madami yung dugo na dito sa part na to. Kaya mangyayari, pag nag-increase yung pressure, magkakaroon ng dilation. Okay, nagkakaroon ng dilation. Kaya medyo distended or prominent yung veins natin pag may varicose vein. Yan ay because of incompetent venous valve. Okay, so what are the possible reason kung bakit nagkakaroon ng varicose vein? So meron tayong mga risk factors. Una natin your congenital weakness of the vein. Okay, some individuals are born with less elastic or weak vein walls. Okay, may mga tao na pinanganak na malihina yung kanilang walls ng vein or less yung elastic. Okay, less yung elasticity. Okay, making their veins prone to dilation when exposed to high pressure. So once the vein dilates, the valves no longer meet properly. Katulad nung pinakita ko sa inyo kanina, causing valvular incompetence. So kapag once na nagkaroon ng incompetence, may backflow. Pag may backflow, mag-increase yung pressure, magkakaroon ng dilation. Next, your thrombophlebitis. Pag may thrombophlebitis, remember, meron tayong inflammation and thrombus formation. Okay, kapag may thrombus, okay, and inflammation, it can damage the venous valve. Bakit niya nadadamage yung venous valve? Una, dahil narrowed or obstructed yung venous flow natin. Okay? Yung kapag once na merong may clot formation, nag-i-increase kasi yung venous or yung pressure doon sa area. At kapag nag-increase yung pressure na yan ang sisira sa ating valve. Okay? Next natin yung pregnancy. Pag pregnancy, enlarge yung uterus. Pag enlarge yung uterus, okay, it compresses, okay, the pelvic vein. Pag kinompress yung pelvic vein, nag-i-increase yung venous pressure natin doon sa lower extremities. Kaya pag nag-increase yung pressure, siya yung sisira doon sa ating valve. Kaya nagkakaroon ng incompetent nung valve natin sa vein. And then next, your progesterone din kapag pregnancy. Okay, your progesterone causing relaxation sa smooth muscle. Okay, leading to venous dilation and valve incompetence. So, ang problema natin dito, meron tayong pressure because of the pelvic compression plus may progesterone, it relaxes the smooth muscle. Kaya risk siya for dilation. Then next, your obesity. Pag masyadong mabigat yung weight ng isang tao, increase yung intra-abdominal pressure. Pag increase yung abdominal pressure natin, okay, nagkakaroon ng, kumbaga, impede yung venous return from the legs. Pag once na impede, nagkakaroon ng venous stasis. Pag may venous stasis, madami yung dugo, kaya increase yung pressure. Pag nag-increase yung pressure, it damage the valve. Pag increase yung pressure, madadamage yung valve. Kaya ang mangyayari, pag na-damage yung valve, dadami yung regurgitation or yung backflow, magkakaroon ng dilation ng ating blood vessels. And next, your heart disease. Okay, pag heart disease, usually yan kapag right-sided heart failure. Okay, kapag right-sided heart failure yan, it can cause increased venous pressure. Yung venous pressure na yan, it can destroy or damage the the valve, kaya magkakaroon ng regurgitation. Okay? So, usually, pag nagkaroon ng dilation, that is secondary varicose vein. Okay? Because of heart disease. And then next, your hereditary na mamana. Okay? And then occupation. Usually, kapag occupation yan, kapag yung ikaw ay matagal na nakatayo, matagal na nakaupo, ikaw, okay? So, yan, risk tayo magkaroon ng varicose vein. Kasi pag matagal tayong nakatayo or matagal tayong nakaupo, merong venous stasis. Okay? So, kapag may venous stasis, okay, nagkakaroon ng pag-stay ng dugo. Pag nag-stay yung dugo, mag-increase yung pressure. Pag na-increase yung pressure, sisirain niya yung valve. Pag nasira yung valve, magkakaroon ng regurgitation. Mas dadami na naman yung dugo, kaya magkakaroon ng dilation. So, yan yung mga risk factor natin. So, this is the simple pathophysiology. Because nagkaroon ng valve incompetence, nagkaroon ng regurgitation. This regurgitation, it increases the pressure. Kapag nag-increase yung pressure, magdadilate yung vein. At pag nag-dilate yung vein, meron na tayong varicose vein. As you can see, this is the normal. Dahil incompetent siya, ang nangyari, nung nag-incompetent, bumalik yung dugo. Nung bumalik yung dugo, nag-stay dito yung dugo. Pag nag-stay dito yung dugo, dahil madami siya, lalaki yan. So, ito na ngayon yung outcome ng varicose vein natin. So, this is the simple pathophysiology. So, what are the manifestation? Prominent rope-like vein visible under the skin. Okay, so nakikita talaga siya. Prominent siya, very prominent. And pain after prolonged standing. Okay, and nagkakaroon din ng edema. So these are the manifestation. Anong diagnostic test natin? Your Trendelenburg test. Paano si Trendelenburg test? Yung Trendelenburg position natin. Pag once na itinaas yung paa, anong mapapansin natin? Yung varicose vein natin distended very quickly. Mas lalong lalaki sila. Okay? And then, pag Doppler ultrasound naman, nagdi-decrease or no blood flow. Okay? After the calf or thigh compression. Okay? So, sa Doppler ultrasound, pag nagkaroon, kinompress mo yung thigh niya, wala kang maririnig or decrease, walang flow na makikita na dugo. Okay? And then, nursing management, we need to elevate the legs above the heart. Okay? Kapag magre-rest. Para magganon, bumalik yung venous, magkaroon ng venous return. Okay? So, para yung dahil nakatayo ka ng magdamag or ng mahabang oras, nakaupo ka ng mahabang oras, yung dugo natin, nag-i-stay yan sa ating lower extremities. So, kailangan pag nag-rest ka, i-elevate mo siya para yung dugo na nag-stay doon sa lower extremities mo, bumalik. Okay? Para ma-prevent yung venous stasis. And then, apply elastic stockings para ma-prevent yung pressure. Ma-control yung pressure, I should say. Okay? And then, provide adequate rest. So, these are the nursing management. Meron tayong ginagawang surgical management dito. Yun yung vein ligation na tinatawag natin. Okay? Ito yung surgical management for your varicose vein, your vein ligation. So, anong kailangan nating i-manage? Okay, anong gagawin natin kapag mag-undergo siya ng vein ligation? Una, we need to provide routine pre-op care. Okay, we need to provide routine pre-op care. Provide routine pre-op care. Okay, and then second one, we need to keep affected extremity above the heart to prevent swelling. And then, to prevent swelling or edema. To prevent swelling or edema. So, yan yung gagawin natin if in case na mag-undergo si patient ng vein ligation. So, that is your varicose vein.